Welcome to Xbox with Morrpix. I'm your host Morrpix, and on today's show we're going to talk about games coming exclusively to Xbox in 2021, the new Pulse Red controller, and more. We're going to get started with news. In the first story from Xbox Wire, here are the games coming exclusively to Xbox in 2021 by Will Tuttle, Xbox Wire Editor-in-Chief. He goes on to say 2021 will be a fantastic year to be an Xbox fan. The Xbox Series X and Series S have launched, so we're officially going full steam ahead into the next generation of gaming. Of course, no matter the year, it's always about the games, and 2021's creators around the world will tap deeper into the power of the Xbox Series X and S and bring a massive variety of content to Xbox players. We anticipate this to be the most exciting generation yet for developers and players alike, with something for every kind of gamer. I like that they're focusing on every kind of gamer and not just one type of gamer. We're going to start this off by talking about Halo Infinite. The legendary Halo series returns with the most expansive Master Chief campaign yet. When all hope is lost and humanity's fate hangs in the balance, the Master Chief is ready to confront the most ruthless foe he's ever faced. Begin anew and step inside the armor of humanity's greatest hero to experience an epic adventure and finally explore the scale of the Halo ring itself. Halo Infinite is the most ambitious Halo game ever made, with an environment several times larger than the last two Halo games combined. Players can explore an expansive landscape filled with sprawling natural wonder, mystery, and a story that welcomes those new to the franchise, as well as continues the Master Chief saga for our most dedicated fans. I am super excited for Halo Infinite. I know people had their issues with the way the aesthetic was. I had no problem with the art style, but they have improved the art style. The multiplayer is going to be free to play, which is awesome for people who aren't really in the campaigns. But I can't wait for Halo. It's the most anticipated game that I have for 2021. Next, we're going to talk about Psychonauts 2. Okay, this one's not technically a console exclusive, but it's launching in the Xbox Game Pass, so we couldn't miss out on including it. Rasputin Aquato, the hero of the beloved Double Fine Productions platformer Psychonauts, returns in this action and humor-packed sequel. A trained acrobat and powerful young psychic, Raz has finally realized his lifelong dream of joining the international psychic espionage organization known as the Psychonauts. But these psychic super spies are in trouble. Their leader hasn't been the same since he was kidnapped, and what's worse, there's a mole hiding in headquarters. Raz must use his powers to stop the mole before they execute their secret plan, bring the murderous psychic villain Maligula back from the dead. So I never played Psychonauts 1, but when Xbox bought Double Fine, I was super excited about that. So I'm interested to jump back into Psychonauts 1. If they put it in Game Pass, cool. If they don't, then I'll just buy it and then play Psychonauts 2 when it comes to Game Pass. But just another new game coming from Xbox Game Studios. I mean, they bought how many of them in the last couple of years, so keep it up, Microsoft. Next, we're going to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator coming in summer 2021. Already a massive hit on the PC, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the next generation of one of the world's most beloved simulation franchises, and this summer it will be touching down on Xbox Series X and S. From light planes to wide-body jets, fly highly detailed and stunning aircraft in an incredibly realistic world. Create your flight plan and fly anywhere on the planet. Enjoy flying day or night and face realistic, challenging weather conditions. From world updates to DLC bundles, simmers on Xbox Series X and S can expect the same level of depth as on the PC version, allowing them to experience the most authentic and realistic flight simulator we have ever created. I don't know if you've played it on PC, but if you haven't, and it's something to behold. I've been keeping up with all the trailers that they've been showing. They flew over downtown Pittsburgh. I was like, what? That's crazy to see Pittsburgh in a game. But no, I'm excited to jump back into it on the console because it was a hefty download on the PC, and it just took up way too much space for me to keep it installed. But it'll be interesting to see what they do on the console to get it up to snuff to the PC version. Next, we're going to talk about 12 Minutes. Billed as an interactive thriller, 12 Minutes will blend the genres of film and games by featuring an ensemble cast of extraordinary actors including James McAvoy from X-Men, Daisy Ridley from Star Wars, and Willem Dafoe from Spider-Man, among many other things, that are perfect for bringing the game's nuance and complex characters into the world. A romantic evening with your wife turns into a violent invasion as a man breaks into your home, accuses your wife of murder, and beats you to death, only for you to wake up and find yourself stuck in the same 12-minute time loop, doomed to relive the same terror again and again. Now, this one is one of my most anticipated ones from a third-party perspective. So it was supposed to come out with the console, I believe, and it got delayed, just like so many things got delayed due to COVID. But no, I can't wait for 12 minutes to finally land on the console. And I think most of the games I'm talking about are on Game Pass. Don't quote me on that, but I think this might come to Game Pass as well. And next, we're going to talk about The Medium, which will be releasing January 28th, so about 12 days from when I'm recording this. In this third-person psychological horror game, you'll discover a dark mystery only a medium can solve. Travel to the abandoned communist resort and use your unique psychic abilities to uncover its deeply disturbing secrets, solve dual reality puzzles, survive encounters with sinister spirits, and explore two realities at the same time. You'll delve deep into the mature, morally ambiguous story where nothing is as it seems and everything has another side. As a medium, you can see, hear, and experience more than others, and with every new perspective, you will change your perception of what happened at the Niwa Resort. Now, this one I am very excited to watch. I don't play too many horror games, Dark Pictures anthologies being like the only exception for the most part. So I'm hoping that one of the people that I usually watch play on YouTube, Markiplier or Gum, one of them plays this. But yeah, the story looked interesting. All the gameplay stuff that I've seen looked interesting. The fact that it can run two different versions of the same game at the same time is pretty cool. And you know, they said it's something that they couldn't do on the Xbox One, so it's nice to see that the Xbox Series X is enabling experiences like this. Next, we're going to talk about the Ascent. The mega corporation that owns you and everyone, the Ascent Group, has just collapsed. Confusion and chaos ensue. Security and order are in disarray, and without protection, everyone is left to fend for themselves. Stop gangs and hostile corporations from taking over and discover what really happened in the solo and co-op action RPG set in cyberpunk world. Developed by Neon Giant and published by Curve Digital, the Ascent will target 60 frames per second in full 4K on the Xbox Series X for an amazing gameplay experience. I'm actually really looking forward to the Ascent. I don't know if it's the cyberpunk setting, because we're playing so much cyberpunk, the gameplay, something about the Ascent has me really excited for this, so I can't wait till it comes out. Next, we're going to talk about Scorn, an atmospheric first-person horror adventure. Scorn is set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world as the player is isolated and lost inside a dreamlike setting, allowing them to explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. Every location contains its own theme, puzzle, and characters that are integral in creating a cohesive world. Players will quickly learn that even the unsettling environment is the character itself. Again, another horror game, not playing. Hopefully Markiplier or Gone plays it. I watched one of them play it because it's definitely interesting and different from anything that I can remember seeing from any horror game before it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Next, we're going to talk about the Yakuza Remastered Collection coming January 28th and Yakuza 6, The Song of Life coming March 25th. These ones aren't technically exclusive, but it's the first time these games are coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, so we're pretty excited. The Yakuza games have been making a big splash on Xbox recently, especially once the most recent titles hit the Xbox Game Pass last year, and the critically acclaimed Yakuza Like a Dragon launched alongside Xbox Series X and S. Later this month, the Yakuza Remastered Collection, which gathers Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, will land on Xbox Game Pass. Then in March, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, will be added to the service, completing the Kazuma Kiryu story arc of the Yakuza saga. This means that fans will finally be able to play through the entire saga of the Dragon of Dojima from Yakuza 0 to Yakuza 6 with one Xbox Game Pass subscription. Game Pass for the win. I say it all the time. Like, the fact that you can play games that you never played on Xbox and you just play them in Game Pass, man, that's 7 games right there. Yeah, that's 7 games right there. So, you know, keep it up, Microsoft. Next, we're going to talk about Crossfire X. With 650 million registered players over its 10-year history, Crossfire is one of the most played PC games in the world. Now, the legendary franchise comes to Xbox as a fast-paced, first-person shooter with a variety of exhilarating multiplayer modes and an epic cinematic campaign. Explore the global conflict between the world's two most formidable private military factions, Blacklist and Global Risk, as you pick a side and battle players in an epic global conflict across a variety of classic and innovative multiplayer modes for players of all skill levels and interests. Now, I'm really interested to play Crossfire X, and I might even do something over on twitch.com/Morrpix with that, but I'm really interested in the campaign that's been completed by Remedy from Alan Wake Control fame. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see and hear more about this whenever more details are provided. And next, we're going to talk about Echo Generation. Echo Generation follows a gang of kids through otherworldly adventures as they investigate mysterious and supernatural events in their hometown that will change the course of their lives forever. The game is set in 1993, in one of those hazy, hot summers where it seems like the world is yours to discover and everything seems possible. School's out and your crew sets out to explore your hometown on a mission to find the source of the mysterious crash in the nearby cornfield. Will you brave the supernatural to find the truth? Now, this game I'm actually really excited for. I think they showed this at E3 and it gave me all the Stranger Things vibes, and I love the art style, so I'm really looking forward to Echo Generation coming out. Next, we're going to talk about The Last Stop, a new game from Variable State, creators of the award-winning Virginia. The Last Stop is a single-player, third-person adventure set in present-day London, where you play as 3 separate characters whose worlds collide during a supernatural crisis. In the 3 stories, you'll meet Donna, a spaced-out high schooler who feels trapped by her stifling home life, John, an overworked middle-aged single dad, and Mina, a ruthlessly ambitious professional who struggles to find the same satisfaction with her family that she does with the thrill of her work. Last Stop is an anthology connecting 3 stories in one centered on secret lives, the ties that bind, and how magic can be found in the mundane. This trailer was really different when I seen it or whatever, but the previous game, Virginia, which was done with no dialogue, which is very interesting, so I am looking forward to The Last Stop to figure out the mysteries and make the choices. Next, we're going to talk about the Gunk. From the creators of SteamWorld franchise comes a completely new game, the Gunk. Embark on a new adventure as 2 friends who run a small scavenging outfit and who travel from one space rock to another in search of resources they can harvest and sell. One day they land on a planet that looks dead from a distance but is covered in a slimy parasite that corrupts its vibrant nature and wildlife. You'll encounter terrifying enemies and challenging puzzles on your quest to unravel the mystery of that vast and exotic forgotten planet, all while saving it in the process. This one has a very unique art style, but it looks, I'm good with unique art styles. I like unique art styles. It's always nice to play something different. The gameplay doesn't look too different from most adventure games that you've played, but there's just something about it that just has that it factor. So I'm really interested to play the Gunk when that releases. Next up, we're going to talk about ExoMecha. A free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter, ExoMecha takes place on the recently discovered planet of Omeka, where multiple species from across the galaxy are warring with each other, hoping to seize control of the planet's abundant resources. ExoMecha thrusts players into an immersive experience thanks to the high-quality visuals, flexible gameplay, giant mechs, special gadgets, and abilities, massive boss battles, and unique gameplay. They showed this at the... was this the reveal event? Like the pre-show that was done by Jeff Keighley, and I remember looking at this like, oh, this really looks nice. So for the fact that it's going to be a free-to-play game, definitely going to jump in and give this one a try. Yeah, ExoMecha. Next up, we're going to talk about Lake. It's September 1st, 1986. You take on the role of a 40-something Meredith Weiss, who returns from the big city to her quiet hometown. She exchanges her busy career at a software company to fill in for her dad, the local mail carrier. During her 2-week stay in beautiful Providence Oaks, Oregon, she runs into a few familiar faces as well as plenty of new folk. You'll get to decide who to talk to and who to befriend or even start a romantic relationship with. Whatever happens at the end of her stint, she'll have to make up her mind, return to the demanding job in the big city or stay in town she grew up in. This one had a very good art style and a very cool, calm, relaxing feel to it. So yeah, I'm interested in finding another game that I can just chill with, you know, just easy-going game, sort of like a Life is Strange, although that one did have a lot of twists and turns and action in that one. I'll take that back. I need another comparison. Up next, we're going to talk about Tunic. Tunic is an action-adventure game about a small fox in a big world who must explore the countryside, fight monsters, and discover secrets. Crafted to evoke feelings of classic action-adventure games, Tunic will challenge the player with unique items, skillful combat techniques, and arcane mysteries as our hero forges their way through an intriguing new world. I believe this was made by one person, which is really impressive, but it gives me all the old-school Zelda vibes, and yeah, Zelda's like the one thing that I wish that was on Xbox that Nintendo has, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into Tunic to get my Zelda fix, you know? Up next, we're going to talk about Warhammer 40K Darktide. From the developers of the best-selling and award-winning franchise Warhammer End Times, Vermintide, and Warhammer Vermintide II, Warhammer 40k Darktide is a visceral 4-player co-op action game set in the hive city of Tertium. Fight together with your friends against hordes of enemies in this new Warhammer 40k experience. Built on the legacy of Vermintide 2's highly praised melee combat, Darktide introduces deep and balanced gunplay to the mix. Master the balance between range and melee combat as you fight through a slew of enemies, feeling the impact of each swing of your chainsword or blazing gunfire from your las gun. This looks like Warhammer mixed with Left 4 Dead, and I'm all for it. I believe this is coming to Game Pass. We'll be checking this out because I'm a huge Left 4 Dead fan. Thank goodness we're getting Back 4 Blood, which is basically Left 4 Dead 3, but that's a story for another day. Up next, we're going to talk about Unexplored II, The Wayfarer's Legacy. Unexplored II is an action RPG that aims to capture the same sense of adventure and wonder as a tabletop RPG. Explore beautiful landscapes and discover hidden marvels, encounter magical creatures and dangerous foes, make brave choices, and put your faith in good fortune. Featuring a unique legacy system, advanced procedural generation technology, and rich generative storytelling. Unexplored II, The Wayfarer's Legacy is an adventure like none other. This is one that I didn't know anything about, but I'm interested to see what the advanced procedural generation technology is going to be about. Is it going to be about characters? Is it going to be about layouts in the map? Is it going to be about anything else? Like, I'm wondering what that's going to be about. But I'm just going to throw in a couple other games that I'm not going to go in depth with that are also coming exclusively to Xbox in 2021. Some of these are console exclusives, some of these are launch exclusives. So other games include Adios, The Artful Escape, The Big Con, Dead Static Drive, Exo 1, Little Witch in the Woods, RPG Time, Sable, She Dreams Elsewhere, Shredders, Song of Iron, Way to the Woods, The Wild at Heart. Side note, more games made by Xbox Game Studios and for Xbox gamers will be announced at E3, Gamescom, the Game Awards, and randomly throughout the year. So this list is already pretty long. There's only 2 game studios, Xbox Game Studio games on here, but I expect to hear more announcements at E3, Gamescom, and the Game Awards. Up next, we're going to talk about another story over at Xbox Wire, introducing the new Xbox Wireless Controller, Pulse Red, by Naveen Kumar, Director of Product Marketing, Microsoft. Today, we're excited to introduce the latest design in the new generation of controllers, the Xbox Wireless Controller, Pulse Red. With a vivid fiery red top case and crisp white back case, the new Pulse Red controller brings the same energy and equally striking color as the Shock Blue, which is right here, if you don't know what that one is. Matte black triggers, bumpers, and hybrid D-pad reduce slip against sweaty fingers and thumbs for greater control, while a textured dot pattern on the triggers and bumpers keep your grip locked in. Dynamic latency input delivers controller inputs more frequently to your Xbox Series X and S for a more responsive gaming experience and seemingly instantaneous action. The controller's buttons, including the new share button, can be custom mapped just the way you like using the Xbox Accessories app. Set the share button to capture screenshots, start or stop recording, or even record what just happened. Then share your best, worst, and funniest moments with friends and followers right from the console dashboard or your Android phone with the Xbox app for mobile. You can wirelessly connect the new Pulse Red controller to your favorite gaming devices, including Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One with the built-in Xbox wireless radio. You can also wirelessly connect on Windows 10 PCs and Android devices with Bluetooth Low Energy for remote play from your console or cloud gaming with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on the go. The controller remembers multiple devices, so you can quickly and seamlessly switch between previously connected devices while connecting with USB to your console or PC is also an option. You can pick up the Xbox Wireless Controller in Pulse Red for Player 2 or add this beauty to your own personal collection for $64.99 USD starting February 9th in most Xbox markets. As with all new Xbox Wireless controllers, Pulse Red features a 3.5mm stereo headset jack to plug in for a fully immersive gaming experience and a USB-C port to play and charge with the Xbox rechargeable battery sold separately. In select markets, the new Pulse Red controller includes a 14-day trial of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So I am definitely going to be getting the Pulse Red. I seen it and I was just like, of course they did. Of course they did. Like, let me grab this. If you look at this one, basically, it's the same thing, except the new one's red. And so if they did blue, why wouldn't they do red? So I got to get it. I actually have a spot down here because I actually bought one extra stand. And I was just like, it was meant to be. So I'll be picking that up and you'll see it behind me on February 9th. Up next, we're going to talk about what's new next week on Xbox. The one big title that I decided to talk about was Hitman 3, coming out January 20th. It will be Xbox Series X and S optimized. Hitman 3 is the dramatic conclusion to the World of Assassination trilogy and takes players around the world on a globe-trotting adventure to sprawling sandbox locations. Agent 47 returns as a ruthless professional for the most important contracts of his entire career. I'm looking forward to playing this. I have not finished Hitman 1 or 2. I have a problem. But no, I can't wait till I eventually jump into 3. And I think everything from 1 and 2 is going to end up in 3 on the new engine. So I might just jump into 3 and just go back to all the old stuff. I don't know. I got a problem. I got way too many games. But that was the most important game coming next week. There's a whole bunch of ID at Xbox games and independent games that you can check out. But that one to me was the one you needed to know about. And finally this week, we're going to finish up with Games with Gold. Second half of the Games with Gold for January 2021. Little Nightmares is available January 1st to 31st, so you still got some time to jump into that right before the second one comes out, which is smart. Help Your Character 6 survive the Maw, a massive and mysterious vessel inhabited by corrupted souls looking to make you their next meal. Reconnect with your inner childhood and unleash your imagination to escape the horrors within and find salvation. I watched Markiplier play this whole thing. Very interesting, very dark, very twisted, and I can't wait to watch the second one when that releases also. Up next, we're going to talk about Dead Rising, available January 16th through February 15th. In this remastered version of the original game, survive the flesh-hungry undead mob in the Willamette shopping center using a range of weapons at your disposal. As photojournalist Frank West, you'll have 72 hours to fight off the zombie horde and discover the reason behind the outbreak. I have owned this game since it came out originally, bought the remastered version, and have never played it because I have a problem. But I'm going to force myself to jump back in so I can go through all of them, 1 through 4, which I own all of them, 1 through 4. I have issues, okay? And lastly, with Games with Gold, we're going to talk about Breakdown, available January 16th through 31st. This is available through backwards compatibility. Original Xbox game that has been enhanced for Xbox One X. Trapped inside a mysterious lab and unable to remember his past, Derek Cole must fight his way out using his newfound extraordinary powers. Combining hand-to-hand combat, state-of-the-art weapons, and intense storyline, embark on a thrilling and suspenseful search for the truth in this first-person action-adventure title. I really don't know too much about this, but the trailer that I did see for it actually looks pretty interesting. And I don't know if you guys have played too many games that were on the original Xbox that were Xbox One X enhanced. They actually look way better than they originally did. Like I remember playing, was it KOTOR on 360, just backwards compatible. I was like, oh, okay. But then played it on my One X when they up-res it, made it look like a 360 game. Just saying, Xbox for the win. And that'll do it for this episode, you know. Show my shirt of the day. Got my nice Fallout Pip-Boy shirt. Also want to give a shout out to Moises Mendoza, who's been a big supporter of the channel from day one. He's always leaving a comment and having conversations, so shout out to Moises Mendoza. If you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe. All that will help to grow the channel. Let me know what you thought about this episode, what you liked, what you didn't like. You can follow me over on twitch.tv/Morrpix. I'll be doing more streams upcoming, and also you can check out other videos on this channel. I just put up a couple episodes of Among Us with my family and my friends, and there's betrayal all around, so I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this episode, you know, do all those things I mentioned before. But until next time, be happy, be safe out there, and peace out.